Hello, everyone. My name is Trenton Sedlacek. I am a student here within the Python tools for data analysis this semester, and I'm excited to show you my BLS dashboard. And here are some of the figures. Like most of you, I started with two separate scripts, one for collecting data, one for building the app. This first one here collects the data by requesting the BLS API, and I pulled 11 different supersectors here on their employment and their wages. And the main comparison being made within this dashboard is the 11 supersectors compared to their national figures. I wanted to have this industry breakdown for different users that might be in these different sectors. And I didn't want to just cherry pick 4, so I decided to include them all. It fetches the data from the BLS, looking for the key, and then it parses the response from the coding script to then go and be read into the app building script. I set the cache data as recommended so that it doesn't update with every user clicking. And so it checks that the data is here. And if the data is there, it makes a data frame. And then it sets the min and max date for the date range later. I created some section pickers to go along with the date range. Right below it, you are able to select all from 0 to 11 of the BLS sectors. And I defaulted to 4 that I found interesting: construction, manufacturing, trade, transportation, utility, leisure. And then but you're allowed to select all of them. I had a weighted average for wages, an average of averages, to be able to more robustly measure the average wage of people, workers across these industries, rather than the average of the sectors themselves in a simple mean way. And I'll show you guys some more, but I have some national figures able to select different sectors and date range and compare employment and wage growth. But let's go on to that. So here is the repository for my BLS dashboard. It's a relatively simple README. It just says, hey, here's where the data comes from, the main variables that I'm pulling in. Here is the dashboard, the data, and you can run it locally. So if we go onto the dashboard, let me refresh this. Thank you for your patience. But I want to show you when it eventually populates that yes, my defaulted 4 sectors have showed up. And we're able to get a good look at this. We have the national totals going from across the date range, which these running totals reflect the most recent numbers, and the change reflects from the beginning date. The selected sectors below also update, but they show only the ones that are, well, selected. If I add another sector, the employment changes. I have some national overview here of the non-farm employment. The unemployment rate, you can see labor force participation dipped during COVID, and the hourly earnings had a little spike. So let's go into the sector employment. And so you can see that within these sectors, we are able to see the difference between them. If you want to go between a date range, pardon me, I always don't maneuver well on camera, but it doesn't adjust the scale if you pan like this. But if you change the date range, then we're able to see within the more recent years, because it updates the y-axis. If we go to sector wages, you'll see here that there's a note that there is no wage for government, but you can go on to govsalaries.com and look up any government employee that is publicly available, which I like to do to compare. And you can see here that the earnings have gone up over time, but growth has actually slowed some since 2023. And we can select all sectors, though it will get a little messy. So you can see that, hey, in the most recent years, it looks like information is more volatile, this green, than the other ones. But that's also because if you go to employment, they're one of the lowest employed. And so a smaller sample size, we have a more volatile estimate. Now, if you look, luckily when we select all sectors, the employment numbers match in this change, but the hourly wage and the national total is slightly off from each other. I used a weighted average. I checked to see how the BLS does it. It looks like they use enterprise microdata and do some other shenanigans with that, but it is a little bit more than the hourly wage of that I'm measuring here with the weighted. But luckily, the changes here are relatively small between each other, and it looks like they track nearly perfectly with one another, except in the very nominal amount. But anyways, thank you for looking at my dashboard. I appreciate looking through the other ones because they gave me inspiration for features to add and things to clean up. So I stand on the shoulders of you giants. Thank you for letting me come in from outside of UNO and learn Python, which is something that I've been really wanting to learn more of. And I'm proud to have a portfolio piece that I can talk about to my mom and future employers. So thank you all.